Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to start our class with writing skills. As you know, writing skills for any literature is no doubt very important. In your exams also, you get writing skills for 20 marks, and your writing skills is section B in your question paper. So today we are going to start with debate writing, right? You might be thinking that debate is only meant to be talked or to argue, but we can even know how to write a debate writing, okay? So that is what we are doing now. I will tell you what is debate first, and then I'll go into the details how to write a debate. A debate is a formal contest of argumentation in which two opposing teams defend and attack a given proposition. As you know, it is a formal contest of argumentation in both two teams defend and attack a given proposition. Suppose there is a group A and other group is group B. So you both try to defend each other, right? And attack the particular given proposition. It is a persuasive manner of speaking with the aim of converting the view of another person. So it's a convincing kind of a writing, it's a persuasive kind of a writing where you need to convert the view of somebody else to your own view. The other person should be convinced, okay, of your view, right? In this speech, the speaker speaks either for or against the issue being discussed. So in this particular kind of a speech, what we do is the speaker speaks, either you speak for or against the issue being discussed. But one thing is very interesting. If suppose I give you one debate writing, try to write the particular topic for and then against, so that you can have different perspective. So to take an example, suppose if I ask you, do you feel school uniform should be a must? Okay. So some people will give me a lot of arguments saying that no, it should not be compulsory in schools. Well, other will say that definitely, ma'am, it should be made compulsory in schools. In the process, what happens is that if you try writing both for and against, you understand someone else's perspective. So you understand other people's perspective. That is so very important in this world. We need to not only understand our perspective, but also give respect to the other person's perspective. Now we'll discuss the format of debate writing. So the first important thing is salutation. Salutation means you need to address the audience or the judge properly. Okay. Then we have introduction. Introduction can begin with a question, quotation, or interesting statistics. The same applies even to your speech writing if you have done it before. The speech also always begins with a salutation and a proper introduction. Then we have stating the stand. Then you need to state your stand properly. Make your stand very clear from the very beginning. So you make sure that your stand is very clear from the very beginning. Suppose if you are speaking for a particular topic, you need to be very assertive about that topic. The next comes your main points. So you need to highlight your main points very emphatically. You need to be very particular about your main points. The next is your develop points. Okay. So from the main point you come to how do you develop your points. For that you need to substantiate them with relevant examples. So you need to, whatever you are saying, you need to substantiate that with relevant example statistics. You could give figures, examples. Suppose you there might be many things that you don't know, but you can start by saying that according to one of the professors of University of Cambridge. You could always do that because we are not sure that which professor might have told so. So you say that according to one of the professors of any university. Okay. So in the conclusion, what we have is state your own opinion or view in the concluding lines to emphasize your stand on the issue. So in the conclusion, we are going to state your own opinion or view in the concluding lines to emphasize your stand. You need to emphasize your stand very clearly, okay, throughout your debate writing. So now we discuss a few points which are very crucial for debate writing. The first is open by addressing the audience. You need to open the debate writing or your debate writing skills by addressing the audience. That has to be very proper, okay? Respected chairperson, members of the table, and dear friends could be one salutation. The other could be a very simple statement saying that, sentence saying that, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. But the important thing is that you cannot write your debate writing without a salutation. Salutation is a must. So the first thing which you need to remember is salutation in debate writing. Then you can state your stand. The second point says, begin the first paragraph by making your stand clear. That is, mention the motion table before the house is. That means you need to mention the topic. Okay, suppose if the topic is, do you think the student should be allowed to bring mobile phones to school? So you can say, the motion table before the house is, is it justified on the part of the students to bring mobile phones to school? And then you need to say, I'm speaking in favor of or firmly against the issue. Then third is develop 3-4 good points in support of a stand and negate at least 2 points of your opponent. So this is very important. In your debate writing, what you do is that first you need to give us, or the teacher, whoever is correcting your paper, 3-4 good points in support of your particular stand that you're taking, maybe for the topic or against the topic. So if you're talking for the topic, you'll give me 4 points of why you in favor of the topic, and you'll have to think, if I'm in favor of a particular topic, the opponent is in not in favor, right? So what will the opponent say to negate my points? You'll have to think for yourself. Suppose these are my points, so what would the opponent say to negate my points, and how will you negate their points, right? So you'll have to give me at least 2 points of your opponent. You need to negate at least 2 points of your opponent. So you try to give you a strong example with your best point. You can always make use of examples, facts, figures, statistics. And remember, the language structure should be very specific to a debate. Next point, which is very important, is at least one point could be built up by asking a series of questions for more effective presentation. So instead of just saying it, you can put questions, which will give a good impression to the person who's correcting your paper or to your writing skill. Okay. For example, instead of making a statement such as classroom teaching methods can even today are often mundane and boring. So when you say this, you're just saying it in a form of a statement. You're just making a statement where you say classroom teaching methods even today are very mundane and boring, right? It would be more effective if the same point is told in this way. Okay, what is the other way around of saying the same thing? By putting a question. Okay, in today's technological driven world, may I ask why classroom teaching methods are still so mundane and boring? So it's a better way of writing the same thing. Okay, it's put in a very better way. See, in today's technology driven world, may I ask why classroom teaching methods are still so mundane and boring? Okay, then conclude with your strongest point and reiterate your stand once again. So you might be thinking, I have already stated my point in the opening paragraph. Why do I need to repeat it again, even in my conclusion? Yes, you will have to repeat it. You need to reiterate your stand once again in your conclusion, and if possible, you could have a proper quotation for the same. So if you are asked to write a debate for 5 marks, how would be your marking scheme? Okay, so salutation will be 1 mark. As I told you, salutation is very important. This is you address the audience or the people, right? That's very important. Then you have the opening statement for 1 mark. Opening statement is that where you state your point very clearly. Either you are speaking for the topic or you are speaking against the topic. That needs to be very clear. Then you come to your body, which is of 2 marks. Body will comprises of all your points, and also the 2 points which are going to negate of your opponent, right? And again, we come to the concluding statement where you conclude your argument, and if possible, you could also make a quotation there. So it's of 1 mark. So you see, each and every part of your debate writing is very important. Salutation is important, opening statement is important, where you tell the audience that either you are talking for the topic or against the topic, right? Then the body is important, where you make up the answer, where you state your points, where you give figures, statistics. Okay, then the concluding statement is again 1 mark. So every part is important. You cannot avoid or ignore any of those. Now I'll give you one sample how to write a debate writing. So the question is, on the National Debate Forum, the topic given to the students is, should college students or even grade 12 students be given unlimited freedom? Write a speech for or against the topic in about 200 to 250 words. So here one of the important tricks could be, make sure that if you choose to write for the topic, you have ample points. And if you choose to write against the topic, you too have ample points there. First be clear about that, what you are going to do, depending on how many points you could gather. Okay. So the first, as I told you, the debate writing always starts with a salutation. So you have to start it with a salutation. And here I've just written, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I have written it here, salutation. You did not write in your exams. It's for you to understand. So I've written it here, salutation. Then as I told you, what is the second one? I know all of you know. The second one is your opening statement. So how can you write your opening statement? Teenage proclaims itself near adulthood. So shouldn't a teenager be allowed to probe the mysteries of the world all on his or her own? Is a question mark. See, asking the same thing through a question, putting your point in the form of a question, as I told you, is always good way. It gives a good feel to the writer. The writer knows, or the examiner knows, or whoever is seeing your work, that could be a writer, that could be a teacher, the teacher or anyone would know that you have a flair of writing. The modern environment and education facilities surely enable that. However, I strongly feel that some kind of guidance is necessary for the young and impressionable minds. So here you're stating, right, what are you going to tell, either for or against the topic. How does the writer begin here? Teenage proclaims itself near adulthood, so shouldn't a teenager be allowed to probe the mysteries of the world or on his or her own way? The modern environment and education facilities surely enable that. However, I strongly feel that some kind of guidance is necessary for their young and impressionable minds. So now we have done salutation, opening statement. So now we write the body of the answer. So this is the body of the answer. It is true that the modern world offers a variety of opportunities for all age groups in all fields of knowledge, and everything is accessible at the click of a button. But with one click on the wrong button, one could get access to harmful knowledge. Therefore, there needs to be some kind of control over the kind of freedom a teenager enjoys. So this writer believes that students should not be given unlimited freedom. There should be curtailment of freedom. There should be some kind of control, so that the teenager know what is right and what is wrong. Because too much freedom, people say that sometimes it's not good. It can make you deviate from your path. Okay, now the next particular paragraph is very important, because here we see how this writer has tried to negate the point of the opponent. You need to do the same thing. If you want to negate the point of your opponent, you need to say one could argue that. Okay, so one could argue that aren't teenagers capable of differentiating the good from the bad, as they are on the threshold of adulthood? I agree with this thought, but at the same time it might lead to confusion and chaos. Some kind of parental guidance should be exercised on teenagers regarding the kind of movies to be watched, the books to be read, friends to have, etc. So it's definitely, at times we do read something and we feel that, and we don't even know, are we reading the good book or are we in a good company? So a little bit guidance on the part of the parents, I feel it's no harm. Okay, now the next and the concluding, I mean to say the concluding paragraph of the body of the answer. Okay, not the concluding paragraph of the whole answer. The body ends with this particular paragraph. Some of us may strongly protest as to why can't we be on our own and enjoy life, but the truth is that the world consists of both good and bad things, and teenagers are not in a position to differentiate or to find out the gray areas amidst good and bad. So the parents' guidance to a certain extent is essential. Okay, now here we end the body of your answer. Now we come to the concluding statement. As we discussed earlier, debate writing consists of salutation, introduction or the opening statement, body. So we are done discussing salutation, opening statement, body. So now we come to the concluding statement. Therefore, I think that while creative urges and the inquisitiveness of teenagers about the goings on in the world should not be suppressed with too much parental interference, the writer is saying that parents' interference is required, but not too much. And on the other hand, he also tells us that teenagers on their part should not insist on complete freedom to make their choices in life. So there has to be a balance between parents' interference and the teenagers' want of freedom. Okay. So here we end with debate writing. So as a class task, I would want you to write everything which is there in this particular video from the first page. So when we started this particular video, we started with the format, right? So you need to write first what is the definition of debate writing. So we'll give the heading as debate writing and write the way it is in the slide, first slide. Then you'll go to the next slide, format, write the same. Then you will even write points to remember, marking scheme, and this particular sample debate. So this will be your class task. On the top of it, I'll give you two other class tasks, that is two debates. Okay. Happy learning. Thank you.